Welcome to Gacha Trash number 2, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Now there's a reason why I picked this background. I'll get to it later. This was the first Gacha game that I played, and in my opinion it is worse. It is worse than Land Cruiser Mobile, which I had just made a video about a couple minutes ago. This is Final Fantasy in, you could say, Final Fantasy 6 style type battles. And the problem with this game is just there's so much to go down with this game. First of all, it has very incompetent staff. When they have their weekly maintenance, they always mess up and they have to extend it. They always give the worst compensation. There was an infamous incident when the game first started where their idea of giving compensation to the players for their own mess ups is to give them beast meat, which is one of the worst items in the game. And the player base took it with a smile on their face. They were grateful for the breadcrumbs that they got. This game has ruined lives. People have done testimony on Reddit that the game ruined their lives. It emptied up their bank accounts, their savings. This game is ridiculously difficult. Where the boss fights, you have to watch videos and read manuscripts and study and analyze to fight a boss, because you have to be so precise in how to beat them. Forget the days where it was fun to fight a boss, where you would learn on the way towards fighting a boss, where it was fun. Not in this game. You have to study. You have to study every single end game boss fight in this game, like if it was a finals exam for calculus. Like calculus. That is how difficult they made this game, because they want to push people to spend money to pull for their units that will become outdated in 2 weeks, because they're gonna make a whole new version of that unit. And so you have a closet full of Laswells, a closet full of clouds. Also, this game has an arena mode. They don't have PvP. They have arena, and people, what they essentially do is they put the most broken, unfair team, and it depends on where the balance is and what's broken. So when you do arena, you're fighting your opponent's team, which are AI, and it's the same thing every single time. People will pick the most unfair, cheap units, and it's a pain. It is a pain to do this arena mode. Dailies are, of course, not worth it. Payoff is way too small. The banners. In the banners for this game, they promote these special banners, the step-ups, that give you these minuscule rewards as you pull for the unit you want. And in the end, you probably won't even get them, because the rates are so terrible. And like Land Cruiser Mobile from my previous video, if you want to make a unit strong, you gotta pull it multiple times. Multiple times. You gotta get the Trust Master reward, and then the raids. The raids is you fight the same boss over and over again, endlessly, for hours upon hours upon hours. Life is too short to do Brave Exvius raids. Life is too short. And the people at the top, because there's a... Oh, that's a spam. The people at the top, they're cheating. There's macro where they use these cheating type of things where they don't do anything at all. Just make sure that the battery doesn't die out. And what was hilarious is that there was a point in Brave Exvius where they just banned a lot of people. The game was just going... They designed the game to look out for certain types of detections. And popular people that were popular, who were content creators for this game, got caught up in ban. Most famously, Dire the Legend. Dire the Legend is a man who bought Lapis illegally. He would hide his currency rate, his currency number, when he would stream or make videos. So that was already a red flag that he was being suspicious. And he was this this whale that everybody praised for wasting so much money on this game. And it turns out he was buying lapis illegally. He got caught. He got banned, and that was it. That was the end of his career. Now he's quit YouTube, and who knows what happened to him. But he used to be so smug, and he actually went to the fan festas and he bragged. But the best part about Dire the Legend was watching how sour he got when he would pull, because he was a good example of just how bad the banners in this game were. But all the off banners, all the deletas, it was that man is a mess, and he needed to get banned. He needed it. Then you have people like Guide for Gamers, who still makes guides to this day for this game. That's punishing. That's punishment. That's like 5% of your life, if you live to like the average human lifespan, wasted on a game that is designed to waste your time. You have Clake, who is the bootlicker. When the staff does bad things, when they mess up and make the fan base angry, Clake's job was to come in here and be apologetic and defend Gumi and say, "Oh no, it's okay. Just accept whatever they give you. It's all right." You have people like House, who is cosplaying as Grandpa Noctis. At first, he was very honest. He would critique the game, but then he sold out. Now he's a bootlicker, unfortunately. Then you have Evil Laughter, which ended up becoming an example of what this game can do to you when it really gets to you. This man was in and out of hospitals, mental hospitals. This game ruined his life, and yet he would always come back to it again and again and again. You see, the staff is so incompetent that they would release events where you need to grind to max out certain things, and they would update where it wasn't possible for you to get what you wanted. So people were grinding and grinding and grinding to achieve stats that weren't even possible. And of course, the compensation in this game is not compensation. I don't call it compensation. I call it breadcrumbs. Whenever Brave Exvius gives their players compensation, it's breadcrumbs. Don't call it compensation. And then the events. In typical Gacha fashion, the events of Brave Exvius are recycled. Almost completely recycled. You are essentially doing the same thing over and over and over. Like story events. Story events have such a similar tedious format. You're just doing the same event over and over and over again, except they make you do specific things which waste even more of your time, and the rewards are just not rewarding. The payoff, there is no payoff in this game. And you have the world map, which has a story mode that has the most bland, boring, generic story you would ever hear in a game. We talk about arena. Then you have these gauntlet, these exclusive boss fights that, again, like I was saying, boss fights in this game, you need to study for them like it's finals at a university. You can't just go into a boss fight and expect to win. You will lose. You will lose if you go in blind. You have to study these fights relentlessly, and it's obnoxious. It should not be that way. And then besides step-up rates, just pulling in general is painful in this game. It's painful. And it's an insult that if you have a character, let's say you have... What can I use for an example? Let's say you have a Cloud, and you've maxed it out. You've used all these exclusive in-game items that are rare to get to build them up. Well, the game decides, okay, so that Cloud is not worthless. You gotta pull this new Cloud unit, and then you gotta dump all these new resources to bump up that Cloud unit. So what I'm saying is that this game keeps recycling units and releasing them again and again and again. They shouldn't do that. They should not do that. If I pull lightning once, that's it. I can just keep building that lightning up to make it more stronger. But no, this game will release 5 different types of lightnings. The power creep is too fast in this game. You have to pull to do content. It's not like more forgiving games like Land Wizard. You have to pull. And the off banner rates are just so awful. Like, I mean, Dire the Legends account's still there. If you look at his pull videos, it just shows you how terrible this game is. When this game had a fan festa in Los Angeles, the guy with the rainbow jacket, who in my opinion should be crucified, he made everybody that went to the stage do 10 pulls. Nobody got a rainbow. That made him look bad. Then you have the producer who has useless equipment like his glasses. Yeah, this game was just... I dropped it a long time ago, and I'm glad I did. And like I was saying in my language video, people don't drop this because they say, oh, it's Final Fantasy. Oh, I spent too much time into it. Oh, I spent too much money into it. And that is the best reason why you should dump this game. Don't ever play Gacha. Go play some classic RPGs. Some historically significant RPGs. Don't waste your time on this game that is designed to waste your time and take your money. Because that's all Exvius is for, to waste your time and take your money. And yet people laugh it up because they're chumps. People smile and take this garbage, and they allow themselves to be exploited by a game that is not even a game, but a scam. Thank you for listening.